All right, let's talk a little bit about Arkansas. Trevon Brazile, not playing anymore. Torn ACL, done for the season. Massive blow for this team. Matt, they still have 4 guys that they start on the wings that could end up being first-round picks, and they got a couple centers in the Mitchell twins that, we've seen them have 13 and 10. We've seen them put up double-doubles this year. They were down big early to Oklahoma, came back. They won by double digits. That wasn't really it wasn't close down the stretch. The final score probably flattered Oklahoma a little bit when it was all said and done. What do you make of the Hogs?
I mean, I'm a must bust guy. I think what he's been able to do there is just absolutely outstanding. He's brought back excitement, in Fayetteville in terms of basketball. Obviously, devastating injury to lose a guy like that and that caliber of a player to an ACL is tough. But I just think with how they play, with how aggressive they play on defense, with what they do on offense in terms of spacing and ball movement and the culture that Muss has created, I think that they'll continue to click and be, a top 4 SEC team. I think they need some reps, right? They need some games to get under the belt before league play in terms of learning how to play without them. But yeah, I don't see, I don't see very many teams outside of Alabama, Kentucky, we talked about right there, Tennessee, that are going to be ahead of them. Auburn really struggled tonight. I know Auburn hasn't played the schedule that these other teams in the SEC. I think Bruce Pearl's a heck of a coach. I think Auburn will be just okay. They'll be fine in the league, but yeah, I'm not going against Muss. I think he's too good of a coach, and he'll figure this out.
Yeah, I'm just a little bit worried, Jeff. The way that you create spacing in the half court is you either have a guy at the dunker spot where you could throw it to the top of the square and he's going to catch a lob. Trevon Brazile does that. Or you have a guy that can stand out at the top of the key. You drive in the lane, you kick it out. If the center helps off him, Trevon Brazile can do that. What kind of, I don't know, the spacing to me is going to be a little bit of concern when your entire offense is, all right, let's ISO Ricky Council here. Let's ISO Nick Smith here. Let's ISO Anthony Black here.
Yeah, I don't know if you have to do it that way, because I think Anthony Black is a guy who can make people better, but that perimeter trio is pretty damn good. Like, I don't know if I'd take anybody's over Anthony Black, Nick Smith, and Ricky Council. I'm not sure anybody's is better than that. Now, again, when you have Brazile up front, that was a difference maker with Jordan Walsh. How athletic they were together. Those two together.
They were insane, dude.
Insane. So think about, like, in the open court. They're already going to be good in the open court without him. But think about how ridiculous they are. Once Nick Smith had just gotten to town, really. Like, he had just started playing, in actual games. So I couldn't wait to see what they could be in January or February. Now, I do think they've got an easy stretch coming up, like really easy the next 4 games. It's Bradley, UNC Asheville, at LSU, Missouri at home, at Auburn, then they go Alabama at home. It's a real easy stretch early, which is good for a team like Arkansas because they'll figure out role allocation a little bit better. Because that was the one thing I was a little bit concerned about, right? Council and Nick Smith now with Nick coming back. How is that going to work? But to me, again, I just think their margin for error is significantly less without Brazile. That's all.
Yeah, with him, they're probably the most talented started 5 in college basketball, and without him, they're still probably the most talented 5 starting 5 in college basketball. But it's not like instead of having 5 pros, you only have 4, which is still not that bad. Still a pretty good thing.